Hey guys, welcome to part 5 of the Naga Skald. I'm Iken, and yeah, somehow I'm still alive. I can't believe I'm still alive actually. And like I mentioned a few episodes before, the farthest thing I got a Naga ever was to layer 6, never beyond. Which means this character will now slither where no Naga of mine slithered before. So we're writing history here. Layer 6 is done while layer 4 is not done yet, because I ran into a bunch of death yak down here. I'm actually not too sure if I really want to do that. So what I'm gonna do is pick one of those guys, bring him upstairs, and start slaughtering him. Worked pretty fine, but that's a great big but. Look at all those death yak around this area. This is really horrible. I want to check out which upstairs leads there, so I'm gonna go here. If I'm able to pull these dudes one by one, I should be having no problems dealing with them. But if they swarm me, I'm pretty much dead meat. Alright. Let's check if I can reach the stairs without dying. Kinda. Alright. Still two death yak around me. I'm gonna cause fear. Draw out a spectral weapon. Bring up regen and pray that I'm able to kill these. I'm gonna use the sack of spiders as well and bring up some distraction at least. But turns out this is not going well for me. I somehow expected that stuff would go wrong if I try to make this play, but I'm really greedy for those XP the death yak provide. So am I in life danger here? Not yet. I have no lignifications on me anymore. Used up all of those. And for now I'm just gonna go for a wand of acid here and kill off this thing. They can hit up for 30, so I need to use my last potion of heal wounds here. And now I got this guy blasted down. I'm gonna step forward, summon a skeleton, and step backward. And let these guys do some work here. Since I'm wearing a pole arm, I can reach over my allies and keep attacking. That's why I really love pole arms. I feel like with Shroud, I should survive this. Alright, did it. Was this worth it? I don't know. I certainly don't know. With this character, I'm always a bit concerned about using all those resources. But yeah, if you're dead, your resources are worth nothing. That's the point behind my place here. But I think, yeah, it's okay. Blowing up one heal wounds potion into a bunch of death yak is nothing to be ashamed of, I think. I'm pulling these guys upstairs where I'm having all my other death yak friends, their former kin, fighting against them now. Alright, got rid of 5 of them, and I think this was the whole pack. If there is still something, it would be a single one, and that's pretty doable for me. Hey frog, oh, let's yell at it and bring it up. Okay. While it was my last potion of heal wounds, I still think it was a good investment because, well, death yak bring a lot of XP. They're pretty much part of the most dangerous stuff you can meet down here in Lair. There's another 7-headed. So I wanted to kill off these guys because I felt like I really want to have this XP going on. I'm gonna pump all my flame wand charges into this Hydra now, because this is an inexpensive and cheap wand, and this is an inexpensive and cheap fight, so thought these tools fit well together. Jokes aside, wands of flame are pretty useful to just pew pew at stuff if you're not if you just don't want to use the value wands like acid or such. The flame wand is pretty useful. All right, we're done with the lair, and I feel like the next step should be the Orcish mines. I lack some MR. That's pretty concerning, actually. Well, without MR, I don't know if I really want to go for the Orcish mines. I think I need to rethink this. But for now, I'm gonna go for this scroll shop here and pick up a scroll of acquirement, read it, wish for some armor, and pick up a Naga barding, which is -7. What the fuck? Game, what are you doing to me? This was a scroll of acquirement. This was meant to be useful. Look at that. I feel very disappointed now, game. Yeah, sometimes these scrolls just troll you. Like, for real. Oh well, let's have a look at the Orcish mines. Maybe I'm able to make some plays here happen. There's a big bunch of guys hanging around here. I feel like I want to use my spit poison a bit, but not before they get a bit closer. I really want to be able to hit at least 2 of these guys. Something like that. Because this spell is a line shot. It's almost every time useful to wait until you can hit more guys with it at once. So these Orc warriors got mited. That's a situation I don't want to face, since they're wearing tridents as well. So I'm just gonna go upstairs, wait a few turns, and then just go downstairs. Now let's stare dance this situation through. Should be no problem. Right now, even without a branded weapon, I deal terrible amounts of damage with the constriction bonus I'm having here. Chunking these guys down super quickly. And this spectral weapon is super powerful because it deals 11 damage flat, and then it's gonna add the +3 trident. So to bring it to some more visible example, so this spell summons kind of like a +14 trident, which fights for you. It's pretty much, this would pretty much the same if this trident would be +14 and wouldn't have those 11 base damage, so it's pretty insane. That's why this spell is so good. I feel like the base damage on it is a bit bonkers, to be quite honest. Alright, but I don't mind. I'm a Naga. I really need to take advantage of everything I can, so I'm pretty okay with having an OP weapon at my disposal. So I pumped this flame wand empty to bring down the Orcish priest. I feel like the stuff I found down there in the lair is helping me out a lot, mainly this troll leather armor. And I found a sapphire ring down there. Totally forgot about that. That's a ring of protection. That's cool. So for now, I'm not going to wear this ring of protection from cold, because I have this cool scarf, which provides me double resistances. And AC 13, well, it's not great, but it's also not terrible. Not terrible anymore, that is. Before, my AC was super terrible. And yeah, I feel a lot safer now. I'm gonna bring up some Orcish skeletons here. They're mostly crap, but hey, it's distracting crap, you know? I can send these dudes and attack over the heads of my skeletons with my trident. That's the idea here. That's why I went for a pole arm from the beginning. And there's Irolcha. Alright, I don't see her anymore, so I'm gonna go question mark and slash. And there you can bring up this menu, and when you go for describe, you can put it in, and then you see that you're pretty fucked. Alright. I don't want to fight Urolcha at this point. I really don't want to fight her. But turns out I don't see me having many options avoiding this fight. So I don't want to move actually, because I am super afraid of when I move, she might cast some spell. Alright, I resisted the first spell, and now I know she has Paralyze. Well, it's still better than banishing, you know. Hit her twice with the Acid Wand, and I'm gonna go for Ice Blast, because Ice Blast can't miss, while Acid could miss. And right now, getting paralyzed here, oh, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything too dangerous right now. Yeah, but there might be more dangerous stuff around the corner. Don't know yet. It's a bit strange to play such slow-moving guy. If you're used to normal speed, it's quite a different feeling, because you always need to be careful if you're moving or not, how you move, when you move, and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting to play. So I'm gonna spit some poison at this dude, summon a spectral weapon, and just chunk through these. They're not too dangerous. But yeah, there's only a 16% chance that Urolcha had success on her Paralyze and Banish and stuff like that. So I guess it will be a similar number with the Orcish Wizards. So I don't know if it's gonna be my demise here to challenge this area, but I feel like with Slouch and stuff like that, I should be able to deal with this area. Because if there are too many too dangerous things running into my face, I still can use Slouch and do a screen-wide nuke. Because this spell will hit everything in your line of sight. And yeah, pretty confident that this should work out. The constriction damage, totally wrecking this guy. My invocations hit level 11. I want to stay on it because I want to have step out of time at a pretty reliable point here. Look, it's a scroll shop. I want to pick up this TP scroll immediately. I'm gonna mark these scrolls for later. And I remember now all this gold I spent into this bad acquirement scroll, and I imagine I could have bought this cool book of spatial translocations and could be blinking by now. Feels bad. Feels bad to this decision. This decision feels so bad. Oh, but well. Could have been the awesome game-changing OP Naga barding I was always hoping for. And there's a Trident of Venom. That's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's certainly an improvement. Okay, I don't want to stand here. I want to pull out my Spectral and start chunking here. What's this weapon? It's a Scimitar of Flaming. I'm not too afraid of that. I'm gonna step back here so my skeletons can do some work, and we're done. Cool thing. So, since these orcs are so weak, the skeletons are more a distraction here. But yeah, they're a useful distraction. Look at this. I found a shop which sells these books way cheaper. Ain't that nice? So, plot twist. It was all planned, not buying this overpriced book. I'm just checking these. Minor Magic contains also Blink and Conjure Flame, but I have Conjure Flame already on another book. There's Shadow Creatures and Silence. Oh. Book of Dreams might be actually really worth it, because I think with all my melee aptitudes, Silence should be a super powerful spell, and Shadow Creatures is one of the strongest summoning spells you can pick up. Oh, party tricks. Butterflies, apportation, beckoning. This is overall a very, very powerful book. I want to mark it too. And there's statue form. Alright, I'm gonna save up my money and grab this Book of Earth as soon as possible. Which will be pretty soon. If I'm not screwing it up right now, I will be able to use this book pretty soon. So damn. I'm gonna drop invocations for now. I want to focus into some spell casting to get some spell ranks going on, because right now I couldn't even learn statue form, which is kind of bad because without learning it I can't level up earth magic, and yeah, I don't have any earth spells, or do I? No. So I really need to bring up some more spell ranks, and that's why Step Out of Time has to wait. But yeah, if I'm able to survive, I'm actually fit for winning this game with these tools. Actually, statue form, silence, shadow creatures, those are all spells which pretty much are totally enough to wreck Zod with it. It's cool. Combined with these spells from Chai, I think I'm in a super good spot to fight this. Alright. Nice. So that's the thing about Naga. Once they get slithering, they get more and more powerful. This is the first game that I hit this this point of the gameplay with the Naga. But yeah, if you made it this far, you're more and more likely to win the game. But I'm not there yet. Alright, this is a super spooky fight. They're having a halberd and a glaive. That's very strong weaponry, actually. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step back some, regen, and start whacking from afar, because it's dangerous enough that one of these super strong pole arms can hit me. But I don't need to get two of them in my face. That's absolutely unnecessary here. Alright, gonna pick up this Book of Earth, because I feel like if I'm able to level up statue form, this game will be a lot easier. Let's put it like that. So I unlearned Infusion because this spell is way past me. I don't need this spell anymore. And there I am. This is enough. And for now I'm gonna drop dodging, because I feel like 8 points, well, it's not really enough, but I really wanna pump and focus transmutations and earth magic right now. And this trident hits Mendeley in 14, which will be pretty soon. And I can drop these two wands. I have another flame and I have another acid, so I don't need these anymore. Cool. Very, very cool. I'm gonna X out this vault here, because it will be the ending of the Orcish Mines, and right now I don't feel ready for that, actually. I got already so much value out of this level. So much powerful stuff fell into my hands here. So I don't want to stress out my luck. That's actually the point here. So bringing up the tools for a fight like that. Summoning some orcs. This orc knight is pretty spooky, but I'm pretty convinced that I'm able to deal with him. That's a very hard smack. But good thing about Constriction, and that's really worth mentioning, Constriction damage ignores a part of the AC, or completely. I'm not entirely sure about that. But if you're facing something like an Orcish Knight here, or Orcish Warlords, with Constriction damage, you're able to hurt these guys, even if you're wielding a not so powerful weapon like I do here. That's really cool, and Constriction works like that the damage of it will increase while you're doing it. You're crushing it. So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what's happening there, and it's only making sense that this is getting more and more painful over time. And this helps you a lot with heavily armored enemies. But keep in mind you can only constrict stuff which is smaller than you or equal size. So I'm not able to constrict giants. I'm pretty sure that's not happening. Sadly though, would be pretty fun. But a good thing, the most heavy armored stuff you meet until you hit the depths will be normal sized. So if you go deeper, then heavier armored stuff will show up. Alright, so I'm not gonna go for this last room. Not yet. We're gonna leave it here. It's absolutely okay to bail out at this point. The end of this area will feature some more shops. But right now, I'm not having too much money anyways, so that's okay. I got a trident and venom down here, which is really cool. Didn't find anything else though. My next goal will be a demon trident. But hey, I remembered something. Oh no, that was not where I wanted to go. Josephine, I thought you were dead. I thought this ugly thing did good work with you. Turns out I'm wrong. But there was one thing I noticed down here, which I didn't want to do before this level was cleared more. That's this upstairs here, which will lead me to another area of this Orcish Mines. It's happening pretty often that the Orcish Mines 1 will have one or two such pockets, areas which are inaccessible normally. Oh boys. So that's a nice situation to go for this little trick. I'm just gonna lure him towards me. So here, I can't constrict this dude, but turns out the extra AC and extra EV are working pretty fine here. I'm really not taking as much damage as I did. I can finally tap some stuff. Actually, wow. I'm impressed right now. So I want to bring down Josephine for good. She's hanging around down there way too long. And there we go. So she didn't notice me yet. What I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna shout and step around this corner. And then I'm gonna bring up my spectral and whack her. So these spectral fireballs she throws, if you're not resistant to negative energy, they're actually hurting a lot. Hey Josephine, look at that. You're a skeleton now. You're my skeleton now. That's a good end for her. Because I'm a bit pissed with her, because she was the reason why I had to skip out on this Bailey. Because she was hanging around this area back when I wanted to dive into this. And yeah, I was a lot weaker back then. And I didn't have the balls there to dive into this. So Josephine, it was your fault that I missed out this vault. That was the story of Josephine. She killed a phantom for me. That's enough. Alright, so I feel a wave of frost passing over me. And this is right here. Ice walls, they're pretty dangerous. I'm always a bit concerned about ice walls, actually. But I have this scarf. I have an extra ring of resist cold. I feel pretty confident of my ability to win this area. So I'm gonna go there and try my luck. There's a killer bee. That's annoying. Get destroyed. A rune hat. Well, I'd really like to try out this hat, but not for now. I'm actually passing out on this scroll of enchant weapon here, because I really want to get close to this vault as quick as possible. Because I'm moving so slow, I want to get there before it melts away. Alright. That's this. There's some simulacrum. They're super deadly if you're not cold resistant enough. But with cold resistance, it's pretty okay. And they're not hurting much more than the normal ones. Statue form and Chibriados are synergizing so super well because statue form will make you slow. But hey, if you're worshipping this god, you're already super slow as fuck. So it doesn't hurt you too much. The innate drawback of this spell is not too much of a trouble for a Chai worshipper. That's why it's one of the most desirable spells when you're worshipping Chai and want to achieve a simple win. That's actually what I'm doing the whole time here. I'm always looking for the safest and best way to achieve a win with the instruments at my disposal. That's pretty cheap in some way. I really like to go for more conduct plays, but right now I feel too inexperienced overall with Crawl. I played this game for tons of years actually, but turns out I just played for fun, not for winning. So, and took very long breaks. Long story short is I didn't take the time, the patience and the learning process in Crawl to achieve stable wins. And that's what I want to change with this video series actually. That's the whole big deal here, what I'm trying to do. And overall, I'm now trying to go for safe routes for winning and documenting these in case you didn't know them yet and stuff like that. Trying to be as educational as possible here. And yeah, so long story short, Chai and statue form equal a pretty high chance of winning the game. That's the point here. So, back to the game. I really want to try out this hat. Turns out it's just more fashionable than the helmet. Sad. I really would have preferred some good stuff because my equipment slots, I was super lucky. This scarf I found like 4 or 5 tiles away from the entrance of the dungeon, but that was the end of my armor lock. So I really want to find some good stuff. Let's have a look at this. It's a crap ton of simulacra. Oh well, you know what guys, I'm having so much piety at my disposal. Let's just hammer in 2 slouch spells and make this situation a bit less terrifying. Because I don't know what's behind all these dudes. There might be some demon or something terrible after all. I'm not entirely sure what's the exact ending here, but I really want to be careful if there's too much pressure around me here. Okay. Don't want to go through that door yet. Huh, there's an ice statue. With 2 points of arc cold and these stats, I should be able to deal with this situation. Problem is, I'm giving this thing a whole lot of turns to do stuff with me. It can pretty much abuse me while I'm running towards it. Don't want to see that happening, so I'm gonna pump my wand of acid into it. It's one of the downsides if you're that slow. I think walking into it and smacking it could have been also a pretty safe play, but I don't want to stress out my chances here. I really feel like I want to try to get this thing going here. I really want to make this my first Naga win, or at least die trying, you know? Bunch of simulacra, but so far they were no real threat. There's a necromancer, but he he hasn't noticed me yet, so alright. Let's step around this corner. Don't forget the region. And with this spell and this troll leather armor, I'm almost regenerating 2 hit points per turn. which is really good. That's why troll leather armor is, if you're a hybrid character and not finding any too great armor along your way, a troll leather armor is a good friend. It's a very, very good and effective piece of armor. Another one of Ice Blast, two manuals of ice magic. What the heck? Alright. So I think, yeah, I found this spell. And turns out I'm really getting interested in Simulacrum. Simulacrum works a bit similar to Summon Skeleton. You also need corpses, but you will create these cool Simulacrum things instead of boring skeletons, which deal way more damage. And that's certainly a lot of good wands down here. Nice, really nice. And I also want to get rid of some of these things here I'm not using anymore. These lightning wands, well, as a tool of last resort, maybe. But actually, before I go into lightning wand these days, I actually put my trust into a wand of flame instead. It's just single target and not a bolt, but well, I still have one. And I'm gonna keep one. But all these ice blast ones, that's pretty cool. Literally. Alright. Cool stuff. I really need to stop making puns here. But this ice cave was pretty fun. I was expecting something more horrible, but turned out everything was pretty okay here. Pretty cool to stop it. Finally. Alright, 6-headed Hydra. Where's statue form at? 91%. That sucks. You know, guys, I have 8 potions of brilliance. That's 16% and still red. We're doing it. Come at me. I'm so sick and tired of you dudes wrecking my face. Oh, there's Nessus. Turns out this one use of statue form was pretty well timed, actually, because Nessus would wreck me up pretty hard at this point of the game with my low AC. So, on statue form I have 29 AC. Come at me, bro. I'm gonna Ice Blast into this guy. Point 1, I have that many of those. Point 2, this is Ice Blasts are guaranteed hits. So, I think that's too far away. No, it's not. But it's empty. I really want to get rid of a few of these. There's no reason to stockpile that many Ice Blast ones on me. He had a potion of heal wounds. Damn you. And he's still hurting me a lot, even though I'm having 29 AC on me. This is taking too long. I'm trying one. No, I can't acid him here. That's a bit sad. So I deed the Ice Blast one, and I'm gonna drop in a shot of acid for the last shot. Huh. There's longbow flaming. But no. That's pretty tempting though, I gotta admit, it's super tempting to pick up this longbow, level up some longbows, and have a very strong ranged option at my disposal. But I would need to drop that shield, and I grew very accustomed to that shield, because one good thing about shields, you can use shields while you're in statue form, and that's even more defensive value. I actually don't want to drop it yet. I think that might work too, but yeah, I'm afraid of throwing it because I'm going too offensive here. Oh, these boots, they remind me of something horrible. Stuff like that. Face acquirement scroll. Damn. Alright, so I pumped some Ice Blast once empty. I want to get rid of these. So after clearing the lair, usually the rest of the dungeon is pretty okay. And I really reached this point where all this stuff is easily tabbable. That feels so good. After having so much trouble in the early game, being able to pump these guys down like they're nothing. Finally, feels good. I'm slowly learning my skill points for the statue form, but it feels like it's taking forever. This situation is actually not too cool either. You know what? We have a shit ton of brilliance potions. It's a bit dangerous, but I'm taking my luck here because this is not I shouldn't take this too lightly. I have no allies. And look at that. There's even a mage coming in. And right now, that's one bad thing. As a Naga, I can't outrun these slime bolts. But I can temporal distort and force them to split up again. That's one very valuable thing to know about temporal distortion. Oh, I'm really afraid that I need to teleport out of this. And I feel like it was a very, very good decision to go into statue form for this, because I'm taking a ton of damage even with 29 AC. Yeah, pretty happy that I found all these brilliance potions back there, because having so many of these feels pretty good to just use them because they're useful when you're having a lot of these. And yeah, I was wondering where this enchanted leather armor went to, but then I realized this dude I summoned, he was carrying it around. Alright, that's another leather armor of cold resistance. No thank you. I have really enough cold resistance on me. Speaking of cold resistance, I want to swap this. I have a buckler of cold resistance now. So this ring is more or less not needed anymore too much. 3 pips of cold resist. There are not too many situations where I really want to go for this. Apart from going for some hell or something like that, where you're absolutely sure to just face cold damage all the way down. Alright, so guys, we're done with D12. And we did a lot of the Orcish mines so far. And I'm gonna cut this episode here, and thank you very much for watching this crazy Naga adventure. And yeah, feel free to leave me a comment or some like or some feedback. I really love to hear some feedback, and yeah, enjoy your time, and I hope you're gonna tune in again. See you guys soon.